Hello everyone, I am Ahsha1993 and welcome to day 17 of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Advent Calendar series. Yesterday we had difficulty opening the thing. Let's see if that happens in day 17 as well, which, by the way, should be our final day of super rare cards. And then starting tomorrow we should get ultra rare, so a shiny name on the cards as well, and see what kind of fancy things we get. Or if it's just cards similar to the first 17, but just with ultra rare rarity. Yay, it's another cap thing there. Ooh, I like the card, though. Why are there suddenly these things on them? Why do I need to get rid of this plastic? Why is this necessary? The other ones didn't have this. I could just grab the card. This is useful in the plant deck, though. Lonefire Blossom. I can probably create a real cool plant card. Lonefire Blossom. A level 3 plant fire monster with 500 attack and 1400 defense. So, based on stats, but its effect. Once per turn, you contribute one face-up plant monster, including itself if you normal summon it, special summon one plant monster from your deck. So if you have this in your opening hand, or during any hand and you cancel normal summon, and you have a cool, big, strong, great effect plant monster in your deck, then you can normal summon this, use its effect, immediately tribute it, summon that big plant from your deck. That is something that Lonefire Blossom can do, so I'm probably going to make a plant boss monster for this. I'll be very surprised if I end up not doing so. This is probably one of the more competitively viable cards. If the plants are really competitively viable at the not really competitive at the moment in the meta, but if plants or like a plant archetype become meta, then this is almost bound to be in there, or at least has a good chance of being in there, because Lonefire Blossom is a very good card. Alright, I'm going to make something for Lonefire Blossom. Time for a plant monster. I very quickly thought about creating a new level 8 princess. Plants have a few of them. Cherubime, Marinia, Talaya, but in the original I believe Titanial, which is back in the day, like around the time of Titanial and Lonefire, this was often the card that was summoned by Lonefire. And I wanted to create a new one like that. And then very quickly I decided on Ahsha. So, we're going to put in Ahsha. If I can spell it right. Ahsha. And then it's Princess of something. With a comma? Princess of Ranunculi. And it's going to be an effect monster. Definitely plant. Or do we go earth? What are the others? Camellia's Titanial's wind. Cherubime's earth. Marinia's fire. Talaya's water. So I feel like I have to make a light or a dark one to go with the princesses. And maybe in the future others will be released, like this one's also Water Queen of the Night, which is sort of like an excuse for them, but I don't really see anyone using it. I don't think it's good enough for 3 level 8s. Unless you can find a way to easily make level 8s, but then you'd probably make other things, maybe the Galaxy Eye stuff. So I'll make it a light, just to go with the theme of these being different attributes. Because light was one that I considered. Even though this is definitely earth, but yeah, what like Sunflower I guess uses the sun there for fire. This one, why is this wind? This one, like, it's a plant, so a lot of plants are earth, and this one, like Cherry Blossom next to a water thing, so it's water, so this one can definitely be light. It's going to be level 8. One of its stats is going to be 2800. It's going to be the attack. I say one of the stats because Cherubime is the only one out of the 4 princesses so far that has 2800 as its defense. Now, Titania has the total biggest stats, 28 and then 26 in defense. I don't want to do that, but I want to go 25. And there's a few effects that I want to go with, and there's 2 that I already know. I don't want it to be tributable, so that if you have it on the field, like Kaiju's can't stop it. This, I suppose, won't be the super biggest boss monster, but it's going to be one nonetheless. I want this to not be tributable, so I think it's just it cannot be tributed.
Maybe just by the opponent, but I think it's generally make it cannot be attributed. Where's a high level monster that cannot be attributed? Just this thing? This is a pretty new one, so I'll just go cannot be attributed. Boom. So that's one effect. But what other effects? Because remember, it is the idea that it is summoned via Lone Fire. It's summonable via otherwise. Gigaplant, for example. I should probably call on Gigaplant. Something I also considered was that Lone Fire could summon tuners, copy plants, or maybe even level 6 like Banks Yoga or Angel Trumpet if you want to keep it normal summonable without tributes. So those are all options. What was I looking for? What was I looking for? I don't remember. Let's go with the other effect. Once per turn. Target one other monster you control. Because once you create this Ahsha is from Cardfight Vanguard, and there's various forms of Ahsha, but I want to take. Although this isn't the original artwork, this I believe is an artwork that is used for the original Ahsha card. It was not the very first one that was released, and I want to sort of take that effect into this one. I came up with that idea. I saved the card with just the Vanguard effect, went to a different card in the editor, went back to this one, so now on the left here we have the Vanguard effect, so I can just look at it there without having to keep going to a different tab. Yes, we're being smart. You can draw one other monster you control. Let's see. You're almost when your G unit stride, so that's not gonna happen. Maybe it's when this card is summoned. Even though it's not when Ahsha's originally written, maybe when this card is summoned, I can do it. Or do I just make it once per turn? Because you can't do it once per turn every time you stride. But this, like, the once per turn here would mean if you remove from the field and bring it back, it can be done again. But maybe there's a certain cost to it. It is a one counterblast. Because I'm always afraid that I'm not that good, and even Konami probably has this sometimes. They create a card and think, okay, this is good, no, but not broken. But then the player base gets a hold of it, which is a lot more people, potentially with a lot more time on their hands to look for broken combos, and then the broken combos just happen. So, and I'm afraid that that will be found. And I think I'll just, for some cards, I did that I think yesterday with the Purgatory Net as well, is that I give it a good effect, and if that I feel might be a little bit too good, but if it is found to be too good, I can always just turn it back as it's a custom card. But if it's too much for this, I probably won't take it. Okay, one other monster you control. Because Rear Guard is another card, because Ahsha would be a Vanguard for this effect due to the VC. Hey, if you're like, what he's talking about, if you don't play Vanguard, don't worry about it. Now to translate the Vanguard terms into Yu-Gi-Oh! Special summon one monster from your deck with the same name as the target. What other monster you control? Special summon one monster from your deck. Deck is with capital. Summon one monster from your deck with the same name as the target. Shuffle your deck doesn't have to be listed, because that's always the thing if you are in the deck. And it gets plus 200 attack until the end phase. If you do the target, that monster, let's see, you can once per turn you can target one other monster you control. Special summon one monster from your deck with the same name as the target. This could work in Cypher if you happen to be able to summon it somehow. Once per turn, you can target one other. Maybe I'll make it a plant. Yeah, special, because otherwise it's maybe too good. One other plant monster you control, or special summon on other plants, because it's how you can change types. Special summon one plant monster from the deck so that it is still a plant. So, because Neonectars, which is the clan that Ahsha belongs to in Vanguard, does have mostly plants and plant-related things. I'm going to say you can target any monster you control, so that way, even if it's not treated as a plant, due to DNA surgery, let's say they're all warriors somehow, then as long as the original type is plant, you can still summon it. The same name as the target. And if you do, the target gains 200 attack until the end phase. Because it's plus 2000 power, but Vanguard power is a lot bigger. Like 2000 isn't much. Like your basic starter will have like 5000. And that's the original Vanguard. Now we have V series, which I'm behind on. No spoilers, please. And then the power is even slightly bigger. It's probably wording that could improve. Once per turn, you can target one other monster you control. Special summon one plant monster from your deck with the same name as the target, and if you do, the target gains 200 attack until the end phase. I think that's good. I'm good to take that. Ahsha, Princess of Ranunculi. A card to work with Lonefire Blossom, a new princess that can be summoned with Lonefire, which cannot be attributed protecting itself from Lava Golem, from the Kaijus, and it allows you to summon another plant from your deck to your field. So it has to be from the deck, but let's say you have a Lonefire Blossom on the field, then Ahsha can just give you a second Lonefire Blossom. Now, I realize there's a combo with Lonefire where it's, hey, summon Lonefire, tribute it for the second Lonefire, tribute it for a third, tribute it for something else. Soul Charge, put 3 more Lonefires on the field. Summon other things, make Xyzes, Synchros, Links, whatever. Although it does cost you battle phase and life points, but that's, I suppose, a combo. But I wonder what combos people could come up with Ahsha, Princess of Ranunculi. What monsters would you summon? How would you summon it? Good chance you'll do it via Lonefire. But what plant monsters would you make this work with to create some combos to set up good fields? Would you use it with Lonefire? Would you use it with Gigaplant? Or other things? Please let me know, and then I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.